introduce yourself, Dakota? Go ahead.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is WereBearGamez.
I mean, that's really that's really how the introduction he needed. Perfect.
More or less,
Okay.
anyway.
Perfect.
It was perfect. It was spectacles.
Well,
I don't
it should
know
be
what that
perfect. I do it every single time I do a video, so I should have it down by now.
I would hope so.
No kidding, Mel. Always.
So
No,
Start off with a good question.
Hey! How about why Dragon spitting me out already?
What's it like to be?
you
What's
know
it like to share a name of a state?
Really? Okay, clarification, folks. I've gone through this freaking question I don't know how many times in my damn life, and that is 26 years of my life
Ouch.
that I haven't been called, hey North Dakota, hey South Dakota. Oh, what, you don't like that name? How about
I just call him Cute Dakota.
What?
I just call him Cute Dakota. It always works.
And of course, I get the idiotic questions like Dragons, where they say, "How do you feel about sharing a name with a state?" Well, my thing is that
It obviously is annoying.
it is annoying, yes, but I don't see it as me sharing a name with a state. I see it more of me sharing a name with the man I was named after, my dad's war buddy.
It's still really cool. I think that's awesome, honestly. And I've known you for about how long, Dakota, at this point?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years. Now, something I've picked up, like, maybe 1 or 2 times, is that you're a farm boy, basically.
Yep.
So what's that like? What's it like being there and having to, live through that instead of doing something what I would do is the tech stuff and the more, technology-based stuff?
Well, honestly, I lived in a more non-traditional than most, farm boys and most gamers.
Okay.
Most people my age, they were already playing on a Nintendo 64 or the NES or the Super Nintendo or whatever the fuck it's called. Me, I was watching TV on this really big ass TV that if you dropped it on somebody, they'd be flattered in a pancake.
Yeah, the TV would not be injured. I know exactly what TV you mean, my guy.
And that was the only technology I knew of besides the wired home phones. I knew nothing else. Of course, we had we had mechanical tools, like we had a motorized weed whacker and all that, but I never got to use it. I used the garden hoe. I literally did everything by hand because I grew up in a non-traditional family. I wasn't raised by my parents. I wasn't raised by my grandparents. I was raised by my great-grandparents. World War II era.
That's actually really cool.
Everything I learned was by hand, which instilled a great work ethic in me, which has gotten me several promotions.
That was one of my next questions. Is do you think that would have helped you nowadays?
Nowadays, what? You cut out there.
Thing to hand and do you think that in learning everything by yourself, or just learning things the, I guess you could say, more difficult way, improved your work ethic? But you just answered it right there.
Yeah, it improved your work ethic. It makes me actually do more critical thinking when it comes to the mechanical side of stuff than what would normally be done. Most people would go, oh, just take it to a mechanic, you'll be fine. And it's like, no mechanic, I'll just do it myself. If it's something I have no absolute clue about, sure, I'll take it to a mechanic. But I can do all the basic stuff. I can change a tire, I can change an oil, I can do all the fluids, all that. I just can't do the more in-depth stuff.
Yeah, the more stuff that it kind of takes quite a qualified person to do,
Yeah, and the cool thing about growing up the way I did is I had a stronger sense of high integrity and morality than most, which can be seen by almost all my friends.
Yeah.
I don't even like doing something that's not high morality, high integrity thing in a video game, so I guess that's saying something.
Yeah. See, another thing is like, was it difficult growing up on like a farm and having to deal with all that stuff and deal with life that way? Was it more? Would you say it was more difficult having to do all that stuff constantly on top of your normal child life or teen life, whatever it was?
What are you talking about? That was my life. I'm not kidding.
I'm saying,
I lived, breathed farm work. I would do nothing else, honestly.
Yeah.
I loved it.
What I was asking is, was it difficult? Do you think it was more difficult than what it would be for like how I grew up? Kind of more. I was more lenient, or
Okay.
My parents were more lenient on me.
I'll put it this way. There is regular strong, there's army strong, and then there's farmer strong. It is more difficult. It is a more difficult way of life, but it also helps prepare you more for what's to come next a bit. But for someone like you who had more lenient parents, yes, it was a lot easier. Me, I had to feed the horses, make sure the water was running okay, feed the pigs, refill their water, which was about a, what was it, 20-gallon tub, and I had to refill it using a hose and stand the entire time holding it. And then I had to go about, then on the weekends I was I was more or less just, I was pulling weeds by hand. I was using the garden hoe to get rid of them, and I would do it for hours on end. And then I'd go and I'd haul rock, I'd haul branches, I'd take care of the animals again. I'd go out to the pasture, walk the fence line whenever it needs fixed. I fixed it. It was a hard life. I actually had a girlfriend and had to dump her just because I couldn't see her, because I was always on the farm.
Yeah.
Now for someone like...
I'm sure that was difficult.
For someone like my best friend Kyle, who grew up with somewhat strict parents, but if he wanted to, he could go places. I never had much of a chance unless I had all my stuff done, which in the end caused problems. But overall, I wouldn't trade it for anything, but I really wish I had better social skills.
Yeah. I do too, working on farmland. Dragon, do you have any questions for Mr. WereBear here? Any other questions?
Yes. Did you ever get to drive any of the big vehicles?
Which ones?
Like the tractor or the crop dusters.
He's from Cali, he doesn't know. Crop dusters are planes, but...
Yeah, crop dusters are planes, dude.
Basically what he's asking is, did you drive any of the tractors in those big
Dude, I've been driving since I was 4 years old.
That answers your question, Dragon.
So, yes.
By the time I was 13 years old, I was already driving one of the tractors all by myself, just to do the work.
What was your favorite one?
The only one we had after my grandfather passed away, the Case Egger King 790 with the 1020 bucket.
No idea what that means, but okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does that mean? Please explain.
It's pretty much the version of the bucket. That's all it is, more or less.
Now, is the bucket the thing in the back that holds the stuff? I mean,
no, it's
kind of
the one that's in the front.
But...
It's the one in the front that has the arms and the bucket that dumps the stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know, I was so confused for 2 seconds. We got it. I got it now.
Yeah, the only thing
Dragon.
Only thing I didn't like about that tractor was that it was mustard yellow.
Some boy colors. You hear that?
What?
I said even farm boys care about colors and what color things are.
I think
Now,
everyone
what-
cares about what color something is.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of fair to assume. Dragon. You know what, Dakota? I got a question. Do you how different is a ranch from a farm?
Depends. Depends on what kind of farm it is.
Well, I grew up on a ranch, so that's kind of what that.
What'd you
that
have on the
question.
ranch, and what'd you do?
I kind of just, you know, I was kind of the watch out because I was pretty much a little small child boy. But I basically
A ranch could mean anything.
did look
Like
out because
honestly,
Like the
we
dressing.
had four bunny, deer, whatever.
farm. A farm usually has land it also, you know, does arable farming on, like corn, soybeans, wheat, that kind of stuff. But they
Okay.
can also do animal husbandry like a ranch, so that kind of makes them a bit the same. And
Okay.
that's kind of what I actually grew up with. Honestly, is I grew up with the arable. I first started growing up with the arable, always wanting to be in a tractor out in the field. And then my grandfather retired from farming when I was 15. So
Okay.
instead of us having land, we just had the animals. So I was in 4-H, so I took care of horses, pigs, meat goats, cows, that type of stuff.
Alright.
What's the difference between a meat goat and a goat?
You can eat them.
Wait, people eat goat? Hold on.
Yeah, you
Hold on.
can
Can we
eat goat.
pause that for a second? People eat goat?
Yes,
What?
people eat goat.
There's weird things that I've heard that people eat. Now, don't take that out of the context, but I didn't know you could eat a goat.
Yeah, there are specific goats bred just for the meat.
They taste good.
Depends on how you cook it. If you don't cook it right, it
That's
tastes like
kind of fair with
crap.
every kind of food.
Yeah,
well, like
well,
generally speaking, what kind of meat is it more like? Pork, beef, poultry, what?
it's
Pretty sure it's
kind
not
of
like
it's
poultry.
no, it's not like poultry at all. It's kind of like a lean meat a bit, kind of like
Okay.
cow. But if you don't cook it right, it can be tough as hell. It just doesn't
Yeah.
taste good. You have to cook it absolutely right. Now, jerky is actually pretty good.
Yeah. So goat jerky is good,
Yep.
but how do you feel about goat cheese and goat milk? Because I've heard it is horrible.
Do you want me to throw up right here on the mic?
Okay, that explains it.
Yeah, we had to try it for 4-H one time, and I almost threw up in class.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I wouldn't expect. See, my brother.
It did
had
not
said
taste.
that
It didn't taste good. The texture actually made it feel like it was already had gone bad. You know,
So it was like rotten milk or rotten cheese,
it tasted
just-
exactly like that. Yeah,
fresh. It was a fresh,
rotten.
rotten thing.
Yeah,
Got it. That does not sound fun.
it didn't taste good either. I don't usually
That's-
drink soy milk, but we were trying soy milk that time, and I drank a whole carton just to get rid of the taste.
I personally enjoy soy milk. I just say that. I'm pretty sure Dragon enjoys it too. He's from Cali.
I don't like soy milk. I'm just gonna say it,
Uh,
and I'm gonna say this:
prefer
where the hell where the hell is a tit on a soybean?
Now listen, Dakota, I can explain to you how they make soy milk, but I'm
I
not
don't
going
care.
to right now.
But I don't like
Um,
soy milk. I didn't mind the almond milk, but only the chocolate kind because it got rid of the bad flavor.
Yeah. And again, Dragon, how you said that you prefer 2%. I'm not saying I would rather drink soy milk over every other milk, but I'm just saying I don't think it's gross.
Well, for me, I'm not picky, but I would prefer 2%. But I've
Yeah.
drank all of them.
That's fair. Now,
Except
Dakota.
goat milk.
Except goat milk. Goat milk's a big no-no with every single person. I've never met somebody who enjoyed goat milk.
I know a few people.
You also grew up on a farm, so that would make sense. People who had to deal with the goats.
No, there are people I met in FFA.
Oh, okay.
And for those of you who do not know what that is, it means Future Farmers of America, or it used to. Now it's just FFA, so even city folk can join.
It still means Future Farmers of America.
Not anymore.
That's what they. At least it did when I was in school. Well, I'm still in school, but like back when my friends took it, I took home ec, so I could,
My junior year of high school, we learned that they changed it so that it wouldn't feel like it was secluding everybody, so that even those that don't live on a farm could join it.
Huh. That's kind of weird. Because, like, anybody can really... I'm not going to say anybody can do it, but I guess it takes a person. Now, tell me about, like, the schedule, like, what time you woke up till, like, you went to bed, and what happened in between of the day, like, if you had any free time, and what you did, how you did it.
On which age?
What was, like, the most consistent thing that you've done, or, like, that you had to do? Like, daily?
Let's see. I'd wake up at 5:30 a.m., put my clothes on, grab a flashlight, go outside, feed the horses, feed the other animals, come back inside, take a shower, eat my breakfast, get dressed for school, go to school, come home, feed the animals again, checked around the farm, did a few odd jobs, go inside, eat supper,
Okay.
play some video games, and then watch a show if it was show night. Like, we used to watch new episodes of NCIS and Law and Order together, and then fall asleep about 11 p.m. midnight, wake up, do it all over again.
Well, that works. I mean, now, did you enjoy it, or did you ever wish that you could do something else?
I never wanted to leave it.
Oh. Now, do you still feel that way?
Yes.
Would you, or I guess you could still wish you would go back.
I would go back in a heartbeat.
Okay. Dragon, you got any more questions?
Let's see. What about in school?
What about in school?
We'll start with, like, 4th grade. How was it for you?
Which
if you attended
year?
4th grade, that is. Oh, 4th.
No, which time? I had to repeat it.
We'll say the first time.
Well, we already
The first
know how
time you went to
4th grade
fourth.
went.
The first time I wasn't hardly there. I was dealing with some health complications.
That's a good way to put it. And what about the second time, since you had to go back through and all that stuff?
The second time, it was a bit more difficult. Due to the nature of my surgery and the side effects of it,
Yeah.
my short-term memory was completely shot. My long-term memory from the point in time and stuff from before my surgery was extremely hazy. Like, I didn't even fully understand who I was.
Ah.
And that continued all the way until I hit sophomore year of my
Was it
my school
scary
years.
for you dealing with that?
Very, since I only had one friend in the entire school and everybody else was picking on me because this crescent moon scar on my head.
Yeah. Well, that's because people are horrible.
In school, and
Yeah.
so high school, unless there's some people that are still like that all the way to.
Freshman year and began new school to begin my sophomore, where, believe it or not, I actually shined quite a bit.
What do you mean by shined? You weren't radioactive or anything, were you?
No, in middle school, I went from being one of the dumbest, some of my teachers called was one of the dumbest kids they've ever seen, to being asked whether or not I would want to take this course, or this course.
Yeah.
Instead of
See,
what they already gave me.
I have experienced that as well when it comes to school, is like where teachers are always like, oh, he's always slacking and stuff. But like I never really slacked well, I have slacked with school, but like not at that time.
Well, with me during middle school, I never really slacked. It was just they weren't really ready or could help with the problems I was facing. I was facing,
Yeah.
and still am facing, a whole load of problems with I don't process things or information or thoughts as fast as everybody else.
So does that mean your reaction time is also slower, or your reflexes?
My reflexes have nothing to do with my processing. My reflexes are tied solely with my instincts.
I don't know that.
Talk to almost any of my friends, and they'd be able that pretty much that know me in real life, my entire life, and or my friend in truth, and they'll tell you that if something gets thrown at me from the back of my head, I'll whip around and catch it.
I really want to test that so bad.
Dude,
I really want to test it.
I went up against my entire class in dodgeball, and they didn't even hit me. And they were all throwing at once. And that's 24 people.
Yeah, it's a lot of balls. I'm sorry, I had to.
I know. But yeah, my reflexes when it comes to instincts are crazy. But when it comes to like solving mathematical problems or equations, stuff like that, I'm terrible at, more or less.
Physical abilities are on point. Mental abilities, not so much.
Got it.
I'm still pretty smart. It's just I'm not as quick to catch on to some stuff as everybody else.
He's still smart. It's delayed.
Yep.
It takes him a time to process it.
He has a loading bar in his brain.
Pretty much.
Ding. Oh.
Yeah, when everybody else has already figured it out and offering solutions, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And sometimes on rare occasion, I'm quicker than everybody else. So.
Yeah. That's basically flipped for me. Now, I'm not tooting my horn or anything, by the way. It's just whenever I had to I didn't have friends, alright, growing up. Didn't have friends. So I basically had to, be smart and do. So I learned a bunch of tricks and tips and stuff and, like, bettered my problem-solving skills. So now I'm quite fast at that situation. So whatever, like, my brother would be like, I don't know what to do at this point, or I don't know what to do here, or whatever. If we're playing a game or doing whatever, I can, like, you know what? This sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's give that a shot. What about you, Dragon?
I'm the same way with my younger brother. Like, when he gets stuck on something, he will ask me, and I will just, like, do it like it was nothing.
Honestly, when it comes to gaming and stuff, whenever it comes to quite a few games I like, I can't always beat them on the same difficulty as everybody else. Some games I can't beat unless they are on either easy or normal. Like Dragon Age Inquisition, the game I'm currently playing, before we started this, I had never beat any game on the hardest difficulty for those games until that game. I beat it on Nightmare, but it took me almost 60 hours to do it. And I don't know how many failed attempts.
Now, do you think that's reversible? Being able to go back to, like, being able to play on the hardest difficulties? Or is this, like, a thing that you are kind of have to be at for, ever?
It's not something you have to be at forever. It's just, it's a learning curve, is what it is.
Okay.
I have to expand my thought process beyond what it is now. I can do it for quite a while, to be honest. But if I stop practicing that, it will revert back to what it once was. The same with my memory
You gotta
too.
keep okay.
Like my
Speaking
memory,
of-
I learned a few things that was allowed me to have a very sharp memory, but I stopped doing those for a few years now, and now my memory's kind of like hit and miss.
Yeah. So, Dragon was explaining about how he is with his little brother and how I said I am with my older brothers. How many like siblings do you have?
I lost count, but let's see. Paige, Michaela, DJ, Trinity, Chance, Samantha, Jennifer, Josh, Ashley, Bill, Devin, Tyler, Izzy, Gabe. 14.
14. Okay. Now that's a little crazy for if you didn't know that, Dakota. But that's a little crazy. Okay.
If everybody's wondering, all my siblings are from different dads.
But the same mother.
No,
Dragon.
not all of them.
Oh. Yeah, not all of them actually. I do know that for a fact.
Some of them
Factual
are
and
only
non-safe.
from a marriage that my mom just had recently. Some are just from my dad's side, and that's it.
Is any of them adopted?
Nope. But we tell Trinity she is.
Oh, that's my bad. My bad, Dakota.
What?
I haven't really named them, but I have talked with them. There is one that I feel like is adopted, but you know.
And
I'm gonna
who's that,
roast him
DJ?
here. No, that's Gabe. Gabe's
Well,
kind of
He is
out there.
Yeah, he is out there. He's a step sibling though.
He might produce some creative thinking skills, maybe, because there
Hopefully.
are some times where people who are quite energetic have more of a rambunctious thinking ability, if that makes any sense.
It does. When I was younger, I was very hyperactive. They tried telling me I had ADHD. I still might. But you know what? I'm not taking any pills because those things make me feel like I'm actually dead.
Yeah, I don't like taking pills personally. Whenever
Well,
something's-
those pills literally made me lose all my creativity. I would literally not. I would barely eat. I would barely interact with anybody. It was literally like I was dead.
me without losing my thinking ability. So if I
So
took them,
you already.
I would be just super boring. No, Dragon, I have great thinking skills. Okay, I could beat you in every single puzzle game ever. All right, boy.
Bet.
By the way,
The next
by
video
the way,
you guys
Adam.
see after this.
No,
Speaking of, you know, the whole thought processes and everything, I have actually started a new playthrough on Dragon Age Inquisition on Nightmare
Okay.
again. I'm actually challenging myself.
good. See, and that's another thing how I keep
I'm playing
talking
the
to you.
squishiest class.
Squishy class.
Well, last time I
but, like,
beat it, I
that's-
was a complete tank.
Yeah. I think you told me about that.
Squishy is good.
Squishy is not always good, Dragon. Alright?
I prefer
People
to
don't
be a
like
tank.
squishy. See? Two squishy people would rather be the not squishy people.
But honestly, I will play. I will try and beat the game using a mage just so I can start getting my thought processes to work again.
Yeah. See, when it comes to gaming, I prefer games where I have to use my brain more. I like shooter games because of just the creativity that was put into making the game. Even if the game sucks, ruin it with updates.
Fortnite.
Cough, cough. Call of Duty. Modern Warfare, new one. Oh, sorry,
Apex.
I got sick.
PUBG.
Apex,
There we go. Battlefield.
Every single shooter recently.
I don't know these two.
Start Battlefront 2.
Anyways, all right, let's not get ourselves into trouble. But like, I like those games because of the creativity that was put into it. If they would just quit poking their own game, but like, I like the puzzle games, and there's not enough puzzle games nowadays. There needs to be more. Like Portal 2. I didn't play the first Portal.
I didn't play
it.
either of them.
See, they're really fun, especially if you're playing with somebody. They're better if you're playing with somebody. I've never not played
Most
with
games
somebody.
are.
Yeah, honestly. If you're playing alone, you should definitely get somebody to play with, honestly.
Even if it's a solo player game.
If you're just in the party, or if fucking game, it just makes tons of it. So back to the whole farming thing. What did you do, like the whole like plants and animals aspect?
When I was a little kid, yes, I helped with the field work, and I also raised my own animals. I raised my own cattle, and I raised my own pigs. It's the reason why I earned my first 2012.
That is crazy.
What about chickens?
What about chickens?
They always died. No matter how much we tried to protect them, they would die.
Okay. Moment of silence for them chickens.
And I don't mean like full grown ones. I mean like we bought them as chicks, and something would get in and kill them. We would literally find their bodies strewn across the entire farm.
Did they have any problems with them? Was there like anything that was getting in there and killing them? Could you?
There was something getting in there and killing them, but we just didn't know what. And we tried. We literally covered the whole 360-degree box that they lived in, and as much protection as we could, and we still found their bodies dead 20 feet away the next day. It was
Maybe they found a way out.
Nope, they couldn't have. They can't get out of chicken wire.
Yeah, chicken wire is basically impossible, depending on if somebody like cuts it or anything.
Nope, nobody cut it, and it was on concrete, so nothing could dig under it either.
Wow.
It didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense at all.
Was there a roof?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was there a roof, or how tall was it?
Yeah, there was a roof of chicken wire. We put chicken wire around that entire thing except for the ground, because it was concrete.
And they were dying, and
Maybe they were dying to the chicken flu.
Nope. They were their bodies were torn up and bloody. How could a bug or a flesh-eating parasite carry a chicken out of the pen 20 feet away?
Do you think they could have been attacking each other?
Nope.
It got out 20 feet away?
Nope.
Then I don't know. I'm stupid.
We don't know either. So we gave up on chickens. We went back to raising horses and cows and our billy goat. Or should I say
So you went from
goat.
small cock to large cock. Sorry.
What's his name, Billy?
Yes, his name was Billy. He was Billy the one-horned goat.
Billy the billy goat.
Nope, he was not Billy goat. He was a pygmy goat. Pygmy goats are really good for herds. They will defend their herd with their life and become a member of that herd.
Huh. That's kind of cool, actually. I did not know that.
I'm surprised
What's
you
your
guys.
favorite animal to raise?
I was about to ask that question, actually.
That's a tough one. Honestly,
Is it?
Yeah, it is a tough one because I've raised a lot of animals.
What about the grass puppies? Those are definitely my favorite.
Grass puppies.
Cows. Moo-moos. I call them grass puppies.
Unlike you, I had a bad experience with a cow once. I got kicked in the head.
Huh. Okay.
I'm
See,
serious about
I
that.
had
I
a
gotta
bad.
keep thinking.
That's why I don't like horse. Horse. Yeah.
Oh, I've had plenty of bad experiences with horse, but not bad enough to make me want to hate them or anything.
Really? I don't hate horses. I just wouldn't prefer to get on the back of them. Dragons don't say it.
I'm an experienced rider.
Ooh.
I'm semi-experienced.
I've been riding horses since I was 3.
The first and last time I ever rode a horse, I was like 6 years of age, I believe.
Last time I rode a horse
Now I never. That was about 10 years ago.
About 5 years ago.
Don't like them that much. I mean, I'm not.
It depends on what kind of horse you can get, and you know. Okay, why am I in a race by myself?
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna ignore that for a couple minutes until I can invite you back. I don't know why it keeps kicking you out and stuff. A little weird.
It depends. The horses can be good or bad depending on how the person trained them, more or less.
That's true. It was my aunt, so that explains a lot. Now,
My aunt trained my horse and stuff, but we trained them well enough to a point where they won't hurt a fly in your head. Funniest time I ever saw on a horse's back though was I was riding around and my siblings were taking turns on one of my aunt and Nora's horses. Well, the horse decided that his back was itchy, so he decided to get down and roll over in the middle of a cornfield.
that would have been fun to watch.
With my sister on his back.
Ah.
All I heard was, "Oh shit!" I looked back and she's hopping off of him as he's rolling around on his back. He gets up and starts trotting for home, and I'm like, "All right, come on, let's follow him."
All right, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's just say it was the funniest thing we ever saw.
Yeah.
But I've
See,
been
I didn't
bucked
really have
off 24 times at least by a horse. I've gone through almost every single encounter I can. I've seen people get their arms broke by a horse and stuff, but it's you know.
No, thank you.
Well, the horse's name's Bad Medicine, so what'd you think? What'd you expect, huh?
That's fair.
I expected some good news.
No. Broke my grandma's arm as we're trying to feed him in the middle of a blizzard.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, the horse probably wasn't very excited about the snow.
No, well, or she was just being a butt because she trapped my grandma's arm between a door and her ass, so...
I've never been bucked off.
Either? Yeah.
My first pony, named Romeo, he would always buck me off, but it was always a nice, gentle one. I'll laugh off, dust my pants off, and get back on.
Yeah. I fell off of a horse once, but that was user error. I was being an idiot, so I mean that's kind of my fault. So I deserved it. So what's your more favorable animal that you have raised and dealt with?
Honestly, it's a cross between horses and pigs. Pigs are very smart, but they're really messy. And if you fall and get injured in their pen, they will
Pigs
kill
are fun
you.
to be around.
No, I'm
I was
serious.
expecting some super adorable love story about how pigs try to help you and like make sure you're safe. No, they will kill you.
No, they'll eat you alive.
Jesus Christ.
They'll eat anything,
I think I've heard
even a
that
human
before
corpse.
somewhere. Okay, Carol Baskin. Jesus.
No, I'm serious. They will.
I know they will, but like they will eat anything, even a human corpse, easily, no problem.
Hell, when we used to make corn on the cob, we used to feed them the husks and the leftover corn cobs, and they eat them whole.
Yeah, I've seen people do that.
To me, messed around with. I have a neighbor that got caught in a stampede of them. It wasn't good. I used to raise them to show in 4-H and to sell and stuff. But I will say this: they really love animal crackers. Don't give them the frosting, the ones with the frosting, but the regular ones, they love them.
I'll say the frosted ones for myself.
But that's literally one of my tricks to raising them is that they love eating animal crackers.
Yeah.
A few days ago, we were talking about this, or it was mentioned, about crushing up chicken eggshells and feeding it back to them.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done it.
Well, I guess I'd cut that off quick.
Well, that works.
Honestly, if you got,
I've never heard of it. I never
honestly,
knew.
do you honestly guys think that I know about that? If every single time I tried to raise
his
chickens, they
died.
kept dying.
Oh yeah, they died.
Yeah, we
you
literally
forget about
gave
that,
up
Dragon?
after the second try.
He got 2 chickens. They both died. They gave up.
No, we got 20 chickens. They both died, and we gave up.
Both of the 20 chickens.
They all died. Okay.
Ah! Yeah, I got that now. I mean, it makes sense.
Not the chickens.
So what I'm hearing is Dakota's not great with cock. Anyway.
That comment literally made me crash.
So, what was your favorite subject in school, Mr. Farm Boy?
Believe it or not, it was history.
I believe it, actually.
I hate history.
I
I
love it.
dislike history greatly. Well,
I
no,
love-
no, I can't say that I do.
I love learning about the ancient times, the ancient civilizations.
Yeah. I don't like learning about, like, each state's,
But
like, whenever you learn about American history.
But
That's
I was
kinda boring, to be
But the
honest.
thing about it though is I was obsessed with military.
Yeah. And that's all history, it's just a bunch of military acts between countries. How come in history they don't teach you about other history points, like when something was built in another country and how monumental, other than the Berlin Wall, that's something that they cover quite a lot. But how come when it comes to history, it's still history? They should cover all points of history. Whether it's offensive, not offensive,
Because
not really.
history is written by the victor.
I think they teach like different histories when you get to college, but they teach you the general history
Yeah.
in
What
a
you
high
need to know
school.
Yeah, they teach you the general what you need to know about the world and about your own country and stuff. That's about it. In
Yeah.
high school.
But
Also,
if you
a
want to
little-
learn more, you gotta enroll in college.
Yeah. There's actually 2 points on that, real quick. One, Dragon. My little inner self got a little excited earlier when you said that. Basically, what you said was bullying stops in late high school and college. Is that true?
It can, but
Yeah.
not always.
Yeah.
It's because all the
I've
bullies are so
never
stupid that they have to get
seen
stuck back in normal schools.
Bullies in college.
I've
I think
beat
that's
up.
when people are
I've-
more mature.
I've beat up a few bullies in college.
Take that as a nope.
I think
It
it
just
depends on like the
it ju-
subject.
it just depends on the person, honestly. You'll meet some great people in college, but there are some really bad people too.
Well, that's why
Just
I want to
annoying
know,
people.
because like I don't really want to have to worry about getting in fights constantly and having to treat prison or treat college like prison. Treat college like a prison, like I had to do with normal school or like the back in high school and middle school and everything. I like, you know what? I'm gonna fight everybody who talks crap because I need to show that I'm not here to play around. I am strong man. So I didn't really want to worry about that. So
Honestly, when it comes to college, I actually feel like I messed up a little bit because I wanted to, expand my horizons a bit in college. But all I did was end up doing what I usually do. Go to school.
Have a lot of sex.
Nope. Go to school, come home, go to school, come home, go to school, come home.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and when it comes to college, something I've had to explain to actually some of your siblings and some of my friends, Mr. Dakota, is that college isn't. People say college is a waste of money and a waste of time, but it's not. You're paying for college to pay for the title, for you to be looked at as that title. Like, you're basically paying to be called something. People are like, oh, so you know what you're talking about. But if some random person who's like come up to you like, oh yeah, I've done this business before, and it's like, oh, well, do you have a certificate? They're like, no. So you're not gonna believe them. You're gonna go for the person who took the time, got their stuff done, and has proof of it. So that's all college really is. It's just you're paying
someone who looked on Wikipedia for their answers.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's kind of what college students do at this point.
Yeah, but I still, even though I got, 20 years experience working on a farm and stuff, people still look down on me.
Yeah.
That's just because they think they're better. I'm not saying they are or aren't, but that's because they think they're better. People suck.
Yeah, if you don't have a certificate or a piece of paper to prove it, no one's gonna believe it.
Exactly.
Or they're gonna think you're lying.
So weird. It's so weird how that works. Like, I understand it. And that's another problem, is like, I'm trying to basically, Dragon, you know what I'm doing with the whole business ideas and plans and stuff and seeing what I can actually do. Nobody ever responds unless you have some sort of, like, proof of following or proof of education.
Yeah.
Like, if some random person, let's say some random person.
Can I say something quick?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say this: go to college for what you truly want to do. Don't listen to everybody else about, oh, you'll never find a job doing this, this, or this. Just tell them to shut up and do it anyway. Because I regret. I'm certified welder. All right. I have not gotten a job as it. I'm now learning that my family dynamic was never very good for me, and the fact that my major in college, welding, was not really my choice. That in fact it was somebody else's choice, and they just put it on me.
Yeah. And that's what I really hated about the high school I went when I first moved to the town that I'm in now, is that they forced me to take classes that I did not want to do. So they got mad at me when I didn't do the things. I'm like, well, this is not what I wanted. I'm coming here. I'm improving your stuff. I shouldn't totally roast the state that I'm in, so I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it off to the side. But, okay. School, I understand school when you're growing up sucks, because you don't want, whenever you reach the age of like 10, everybody's already done with school, like, I don't want to be here anymore. But I've always wanted to go to college, but I don't know if I want to do online college or like physical college. I'm just call it physical college.
Physical college is more rewarding.
That's probably true, but you also get more freedom when it comes to, at least what I've experienced. But with online schooling, it's you tend to have a lot more freedom, and that's what I need, is freedom. Because of the things I do want to do, I do need quite a bit of freedom.
Yeah.
Well, Dragon, you go to college, so would you like to explain on what it's like?
So, since I'm going to college for art, I'd prefer to have to be there physically, because it's easier for the teacher to see what I'm doing and how to explain it better, rather than waiting to get the response through an email. And you've wasted probably a good 4 hours waiting for that.
Yeah, that's a good point. See, I don't know what I would like to do, honestly, when it comes to
honestly,
college.
rethinking about it, I wish I would have taken, computer tech, to be honest.
I mean, you still can. It's never too late.
I still have
Yes,
loans
there's
to pay off.
people. Yes, there's also that student loans.
Now,
For
yeah,
me,
that
I've
is.
not had any of those yet.
Do you do like a community college thing, or is it
Yes.
because you haven't? Okay.
I went to a community college too, and I still have student loans.
You probably did the thing that did the thing.
I had to apply because I didn't have the money to pay for college out of pocket. So yeah, I got student loans, and I'm getting close to getting paid off, but they're still there.
Well, as long as you're being close to paid off, that all works out. But there's a lot of things I do want to go to college for, but I should focus on one thing at a time, so things don't get too difficult and confusing for me.
Also, don't do what I'm doing. Get a counselor to help you schedule your classes.
Oh, dude, I hate
don't
that.
Like
I
they
really hate having
schedule it so you can get your major quicker, like your degrees
like a
and all
personal
that.
assistant.
Yeah,
But
Honestly,
I don't got one of those.
Honestly, when I went to college, I didn't need any of that. Literally, I only had to worry about two things, and that was workplace communication, being in the welding department. And I only went to school for 4 days a week.
well, see, I'm quite bad with words and explaining what I do, so that's why I do like online schooling a lot more as well, is because I can just create it and just send it their way, so they can get a better understanding on what my idea or plan is.
Yeah,
I don't know. And plus, when it comes to physical things, it's gonna sound stupid, but like, whenever I'm around people, I like, if they give me any sort of wrong like energy or vibe or whatever, if I'm around them and they give me like a either a snappy remark or whatever, I will absolutely be so angry. So as long as I can't like talk to the teacher face to face and I can't tell what they're really thinking, I'm pretty sure I'll be fine.
yeah. For me, a majority of my teachers are females, so it's pretty easy to talk to them.
Yeah, what do you mean? What does that have to do with anything, Dragon?
I can talk easier to females than it is to males.
What, you fucking gay? I'm kidding.
No, males are sometimes too stupid for me.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I can't lie. Yeah, I agree. And that's actually a great point to end off, because we only got like 10 seconds left on the timer, and I set it for like 56 minutes. We can probably wait for Dakota to finish for it to end, but...
Yeah, you know, we got like 4 minutes after the 56-minute timer.
Well, no, because the editing and stuff, just in case I have to add more, get rid of more. Just let us know in the comments, like we said in the beginning, what you want to see more of. I mean, yeah, that's basically it. Peace.
Bye. See you on the next one.
Well, I'll just hit video clip because I fucked it up. Let's see. Well, I hope all of that clips because my